Hello, hello. Check one, two. Check, 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 check. Woof. Check, 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 check. Hello, hello, hello. Dave, you good? Dave? Grant, your audio good? Is your audio good?
This is any better.
need to get a kind of a, you have a backlight, but last time we had it on, it was like straight down. Morning, everybody. I'm gonna wait 2 seconds for some other colleagues to get in here.
Jacob and Connect. Abraham's going to be speaking, and he's got the curly hair.
Okay. All right. Everybody ready? Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Emergency Operations Center for our weekly press conference here. Our focus continues to be these weeks on working with Metro Council to pass an exciting and forward-looking budget to move our city forward, to make Louisville safer, stronger, and healthier. And part of that is funding our highest priority, improving public safety. Improving public safety is the foundation for everything else that we do at Louisville Metro government. Every person in Louisville should be safe and feel safe in every neighborhood of our community. And we're seeing incredibly positive momentum towards a safer and stronger Louisville. This year alone, compared to last year, shootings and homicides are both down approximately 30% compared to last year. Programs like our crisis call deflection program have been an amazing success that, along with the work LMPD and others are doing, are contributing towards this positive trend. We're collaborating with local, state, and federal partners to crack down on drug trafficking, on copper wire theft, to go after the most violent crime offenders in our community. And no matter what goes on outside of Louisville Metro government, we've been moving forward with needed reforms and improvement at LMPD. Chief Humphrey and his team are leading that effort every day, improving their training, improving the policies, the culture, the recruiting, and the transparency are all the focus of Chief Humphrey and the executive team at LMPD. But our progress in all of these areas needs to continue. We need to continue to do even more, to continue these positive trends, accelerate them, and make our city even safer. Our goal is to make LMPD the most trusted, transparent, and best trained police department in the entire country. And to continue our progress, we need to double down on these things that are now working and find new ways to continue to improve. And that's exactly what we're proposing to do in my proposed budget to the Metro Council. This means investing in larger LMPD recruiting classes to help them continue to add more law enforcement professionals that we need in Louisville. New and updated equipment like license plate readers and more cameras around the city to help prevent crime from happening in the first place and to apprehend those individuals who have committed crimes. And the new emergency drone response program that I highlighted last week will support the work of all of our first responders, LMPD, the fire department, and more. We want LMPD to be the police department that every prospective officer in this region wants to be a part of. Our Summit Wellness Center is the envy of police departments and first responders nationwide. They're coming to look at this facility week after week. The national media has been focusing on this innovative program and facility that we have. We want to keep it that way and strengthen it. And we want to continue to invest in a world-class LMPD headquarters where more of LMPD officers and colleagues can be together to work together in one unified location. And we want that to happen, and it will happen, right down the street from where we are in downtown Louisville. We're excited that the chief and others on his team are going to be moving in by the end of this summer to the first phase of work on the LMPD headquarters. And we need to continue to make investments in that building to continue that progress. To speak more about that project and about the investments that we're proposing to make in LMPD in our proposed budget to Louisville Metro Council, let me welcome Chief Paul Humphrey. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And our job as leadership is to invest in people who take care of people. We don't do the direct work, so we have to support the men and women of LMPD and all of the other public safety entities in Metro government to be able to do that work and do it well. So when we're talking about that, that requires investment, that requires budget, that requires foresight into what is the next innovation of how we can support doing this job to the best of our ability. So when you think about something like the Summit Wellness Center, if you look in 2023, we had about 2,700 missed days of work due to work-related injuries or illness. In 24, that went down to just over 700. When we're talking about a shortage of manpower, to return almost 2,000 work days to the street, that is very, very important. When you look at the ability of officers to understand that their workplace cares about them, that they are investing in them, making sure that they are healthy physically and mentally, making sure that they have the tools and the support to do their job really, really well, it becomes a place that people want to be. You think about our headquarters. Prior to moving out of 633 West Jefferson, I believe that building was condemned for probably more than a decade. It was a horrible environment to work in. Since then, there's been a hodgepodge of places that we've worked, not creating a cohesive culture, not creating an area or a space that we can own and be proud of. The ability to move into the new police headquarters is not just about putting somewhere between 400 and 600 employees in the same space. It's about unifying that culture and having that ability to interact and lead smoothly within our organization. Those things, as well as the investments in things like technology, as the mayor said, lead to our ability to attract employees. We know that the biggest attractor of an employee are the current employees. So to be able to show the officers and the professional staff of LMPD that this city and this department cares about them, cares about their success, is extremely important to getting that next recruit class in. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to make some announcements about one of our larger recruit classes that we've had in years in the next coming days. So very excited about the investments that we've already made and the investments that we continue to make and the impact that it'll have on LMPD and the city going forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. I should also add that this is, in addition to all of the reasons that the Chief just described for this new headquarters, it was also a recommendation from the United States Department of Justice as well. It is one of the many improvements that we are making to LMPD, where we are not waiting for anything to happen at the federal level. We are taking action here locally, bringing our officers together, bringing our executive team together in a unified downtown headquarters is one of those actions and improvements that we have been taking. And we're excited for the Chief and his team to have their new offices later this summer. Beyond policing, there's so much more that we do to help people's safety, to improve their quality of life across our city. And in my budget, we have another innovative area of proposed spending, a new investment, a new program to help, just like the crisis deflection program helps individuals that are helping individuals that have mental health crises in need when they call 911. We have a new program that we think is going to help the entire city, the entire county, the entire EMS system. We're always trying to innovate. We're always trying to improve our services that we provide to the citizens of Louisville. And one example is right here at the Emergency Operations Center, just behind this wall in the 911 call center, where our amazing dispatchers work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. In my budget, I'm proposing to add new funding for medical professionals to be part of the 911 MetroSafe team. And for medical calls that come in, they will help individuals determine the appropriate level of care, ranging from self-care to a primary care visit, urgent care, or even directing an individual to the emergency department if needed. By having the opportunity to have somebody who's calling in need talk to a medical professional when it's not an urgent need for an ambulance, they can help resolve more calls over the phone or even through video one day to free up our ambulances to focus on those emergency runs that they most need to make and prioritize. To talk a little bit more about this proposed program, I'd like to welcome up our Deputy Director of Emergency Services, Kelly Jones. Kelly?
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. Just to follow up a little bit on what the Mayor had to say about our program, EMS just in the last 24 months alone has taken about 300,000 phone calls. That's a whole lot of phone calls, putting a strain on our entire medical system. We've looked around the country at places like Jacksonville, Austin, Vegas, DC, and Fort Worth. All those cities have some form of a diversion program for medical calls, and we're still trying to decide exactly what that would look like for us, but we believe it would be very important. Our job is to always be finding remedies to improve the way we deliver our services. It includes finding ways to take pressure off of ambulances, off of EMS, off of emergency rooms around our county, because sometimes those services are just not needed for a particular type run. As a, for instance, sometimes we'll have someone call, yes, they did sprain their ankle, but do we want to tie up an ambulance for that run to take someone to a medical facility? Do we want those folks to incur expenses for simply getting that transport? Do we want to put that on an ER facility? I think a lot of times we don't, and we'd be better served if we could say, can you get a friend? Can you get a family member? Can you get someone else to help you take care of this? And that's one of the goals. The triage program is going to aim to improve the call handling by having medical professionals assess those calls as they come in. I think it's still up in the air for us is exactly who. It could be physician's assistants. It could be nurses. It could be paramedics. We're trying to decide exactly who we would want in the 911 center taking those calls. And it may start out looking a little different than it ends up looking for us, but we just haven't got solid on exactly how, but we know that it is a much needed improvement and will help. Again, there are just urgent calls that need to be made. And when you think of the word emergency medical services, it should be exactly that. It should be an emergency. When you see ambulances, they should be delivering emergency medicine that's needed at the proper time. Again, it'll help our ambulance demand a lot of times, and I'd like to shout out to those folks at EMS for the hard work and the long hours they put in every day of the year, along with our dispatchers, who both of those groups sometimes I don't think get the credit they deserve from the public just because they're not seen as much. But we believe overall that it'll offer us better patient care, less strain on our healthcare system, and I think it'll be innovative, and Louisville will be a leader in one of these type programs, and we're glad that the mayor's given us the opportunity, and we hope that that's something that makes it in the budget. So thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Kelly. I'd now like to welcome 3 young men who have undertaken really some heroic work in the public safety area as well, and recognize them. Let me introduce you to Jacob Cruz, Abraham Cruz, and Kene Valdez. Last month, a car ended up in the water in the Ohio River near the Greenwood boat ramp. Arriving first responders made it to the scene just a few minutes after the call came in. But these 3, who were fishing nearby, had already jumped into action. They jumped into the river, swam to the vehicle, and helped get the driver out of their car. They also helped secure a rope to the vehicle and a nearby tree to keep it from floating away, all with the help of additional bystanders. These 3 young men did not hesitate to act. They didn't hesitate to help a person in need. They saved a life. So on behalf of the city of Louisville, I want to recognize each of you with a Distinguished Citizen Proclamation to thank you for all of the work that you do. So Abraham, would you like to say a few words, and then we'll give you all the props, please.
Well, first I gotta say thank you so much for everything and all the attention we've got, because we really didn't think it was gonna be this big, and we are really, really thankful for everything that's been going on since it happened. And I'm glad to meet you, and glad to have everyone here giving us this attention, because once again, we really didn't think it was going to be this big. And if it ever happens again, we would do it again. But pretty much.
That's nice. Thank you so much. Here, guys, I'm going to be front. Thank you. Jacob. Here, scoot over one bit. We'll get Kelly and Chief to join us for a picture. Come on in, Chief. Thank you guys very much. Up. Thank you all so much. Thank you all very much. And when the time comes, I know you're still young, but when the time comes, guys, when you're looking for a career, you've shown us what you can do. Please consider one of our amazing Louisville first responding teams. Police, fire, EMS, dispatchers, we'd all be lucky to have you, and you all will be an inspiration, we hope, to other young folks around the entire city who we hope also join you in your path. Thank you all very much. And finally, to end on a fun note before we open it up for questions, lucky to have you, and you all will be an inspiration, we hope, to other young folks around the entire city who we hope also join you in your path. Thank you all very much. And finally, to end on a fun note,